الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. This is episode number 31st, 3-1. We still on the transaction map theory. We start with the definition, then the assumption, then the technique, which is basically to start with dividing everything in money or goods, and the application. After that, you got three options: money for money, goods for good, money for good. And we start money for money, and we say within the technique, you first identify the category, one of the three: money for money, goods for good, or money for good, and see what is the objective. And after you decide or identify the objective, you will find out the Sharia condition which guarantee achieving or guarantee you to achieve the objective. We took for the application money for money as the loan, which is most important one. Where is the usury embodied in that category, money for money? And we said three purposes we talked about the loan, and we say you can't increase the payment even in the loan is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You can't even decide a repayment date. And we said there is a degree for that loan for reward. إن كان ذو عسرة فنظرة إلى ميسرة وإن تصدقوا خير لكم. And we give it more details. Then we go to qarat, which is the objective is nama, and the mechanism investment, and we saw the condition for investment. Then we're talking about as-sarf. Those three activity within money for money. Maybe somebody will find another activity. If somebody wants to discuss it or he has something in mind, he can get in touch with me and discuss it in more details. Then we leave money for money now. We go for goods for goods. In the goods for goods, we have to separate the goods into parts or two groups. The first group is, I call it the usurious group, the group which include goods or items has an element of usury when it's traded. And the other one, there's some between, for ulama, has added some between. But for me, I will stick here to the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ with 6 items. The 6 items we discussed in usury. Then the two group, one group is the 6 usurious item, which is gold, silver, wheat, barley, salt, and dates. 6 items. And when we were talking about usury, we said gold and silver represent money. And the 6 items, maybe some have idea for why they are usurious or the condition of usury applied to them. Some people say, we don't know, maybe later on life we will discover, but the hadith has included those 6 items. Here, to start with, I'm stick with the 6 items. Then the whole group of goods for goods have two groups, the 6 items and the rest of goods. When you trade goods for goods, as we call it, partner, muqayada, you might be free to do. There's no much usury unless for the 6 items. What I'm going to emphasize here about the 6 items, gold and silver, and the other 4, the wheat, barley, dates, and salt. Those 6 items, although they are goods, but I have to tell you, any goods in the world has an element to be price, to be barter. But who shall we decide to be rather money price than priced item or goods is the nature of the goods. For example, if you see, I will give this example because you agreed. The tomato, for example. You might exchange tomato for something else. But for the lifespan for tomato, maybe 2-3 days, then it can't be really, it doesn't have or contain a priceness, a thamaniya element. It is rather good or goods than price. But the silver and gold, they have the element of priceness, thamaniya, but it doesn't mean they are not good. They are goods as well. Then you have to be clear or careful when you decide what is good, what is money. In particular, gold and silver, because the text, as we discuss in money, زين الناس حب الشهوات من البنين من النساء والبنين والقناطير المقنطرة من الذهب والفضة. We got all the text, about 4 or 5 texts, to prove that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given this element to be priced. Then we say comfortably that gold and silver is contain the element of priceness. Then we consider it price rather than goods. The other issue is when we talk about price and goods, price can not be specified, but good, it does specify. It should be specified. What that means if you get a pound, the pound is a pound. If I give you a pound, you don't have to give me the same pound. Give me any pound. That's why we say price does not specify. لا تتعين. Any pound or dirham or dinar can be exchanged for dirham or dinar. But goods specify. If you have an orange, this orange is different than all the orange in the world. As well, the orange changed by day. This orange today will be different tomorrow. And this is the idea. This has an implication when we trade goods for goods. I mentioned that is very important And I have a story to explain that. We know it by nature. I don't have to explain it, but I'm explaining it for the implication. One day I went to the supermarket and I put my pound to get the trolley to do the shopping. I did the shopping. When I finished, I tried to return the trolley and get my money back, get my pound back. The machine is stuck. I couldn't get the pound. He told me to go to the cashier and get your pound. I went to the cashier and I told her. She said, keep the trolley here, and she gave me pound. I tried to make a point here. I said, no, that's not my pound. I need my pound. The cashier was surprised. Because this man doesn't live in this world. Said, any pound will do. Anyway, I made my point. But the point here, we know by nature that the money does not specify. Any pound can be compensated to any other pound for the price. But goods, it doesn't. But maybe because we can reach standardization to standard the goods as much as we can, but we take it for approximation, because the difference will be very little. Why I'm saying this, because there was a story of somebody is famous in Egyptian media, which has a show in the Egyptian television called Mabrouk Atiyah. He's a doctor and he's well known and he's have a bit of charisma, and he give show, and his show is quite popular in Egypt. This man knows about his opinion in bank interest. He has a funny opinion. He said, if you believe this is usually haram, don't do it. But himself accepted this is not usual. I don't know. I wonder what is usual to him. He make a hadith, use the hadith for justifying that the bank interest is halal. What is the hadith? The hadith that the Prophet ﷺ, and this is recorded on Abu Hurairah, that the Prophet borrowed a camel, maybe a young camel. And when the man came, asked for his camel back, they couldn't find a camel is similar. And similarity here was by the age, sin. And the Prophet ﷺ say, they told the Prophet, we haven't got the same age, we've got an older one, which is more valuable. And he said, okay, give it to him. And he said, خيركم أحسنكم قضاء. Qada means paying the loan. Because goods, we're talking about the first activity in goods, for goods as a loan. And Mabrouk Atiyah say, أحسنكم قضاء, then you give him a better camel that would be an excuse to pay, for the bank to pay interest, which is ridiculous conclusion. I know I'm not going to judge the man. If you are Egyptian or you know some Egyptian, you would know what he is and what his opinion. He doesn't hide his opinion. But using that hadith to justify, that's out of logic. He shouldn't. And I'm saying that because he said that I've seen the video myself. And that is a bit of deception. He shouldn't. The man is knowledgeable enough to know there is no comparison about husn al-qada, then have a good manner when you pay back the goods loan. And I will say why. And the interest, the bank interest, is completely different mechanism, completely different principle, completely different implication in the economy. It's not that at all. But he used it. That's why I have to mention that. Why husn al-qada, and why is the goods specified and the money is not specified? When goods for goods, the first activity is loan. You took a loan as a goods. When you repay, the goods specify. You might not be able at all to pay back al-qada, the same goods. Do you face by situation? Either you give him a better goods than the one you have borrowed, or less quality. Then of course the Prophet ﷺ would choose, when you pay back your goods loan, you should pay in a good manner. If you can't find the exactly or near to what you borrowed, you pay back a better quality. And that's why the Prophet ﷺ ordered the Sahaba to give him a better camel for the one he borrowed. This is under husn al-qada. Then husn al-qada for goods loan, because goods is specified. Every item of goods, every physical piece is different. Item is different. But money is not. And if you study even the physical for gold and silver, if you got 1 gram of gold, you will find it exactly the same gram of gold from anywhere in the world, and that applies to silver. And this is one of the things to make the subject or the issue of the subject come together. That's why we're talking about gold and silver as price, as money, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created to do that function. And we can see that for the property of the gold and silver. Back again, the 6th item, you have to put the condition for usury when you deal in barter or goods for goods. If you change good for good, the same item of the 6, you have to have 2 conditions. Quantity or volume has to be the same, and the exchange has to take part in the same time. And I would, at the moment, restrict these rules for only the 6th item. Far from the 6th item, you can be relaxed. I'm not going to make a fatwa here, but anyway, the rules differs in the 6th item and for the rest of the goods. Any goods, you can barter or exchange freely. But here again, the regulator have to watch and see if any of the item as a scholar earlier have realized, going to be trade, and that will lead to usury, he should regulate. And this is one of the privilege of the Ummah, to show or to be a guard for the Sharia condition. If they see this Sharia condition going to be violated, they should to make regulation. I'm not going to say use the word law or Sharia, to regulate in order to prevent leading action to usury. From that, we cover goods for goods. Then we have money for money, which is finished. Those issue for goods and goods. Then what we left with, money for goods. Inshallah, with next episode, we will handle the goods for money or money for goods. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.